So over the years, we've been gradually increasing the forest area by planting the poorest land first. And we've now planted all the hill land, and this year we're planting 12 hectares of improved land.
On one of the stocks, we looked at an area of spruce which was about 22 years old and had been thinned once previously. What are your plans for that area now?
Plans are to do nothing at all for about 7 years. May do some timber measuring, but with a view to felling it at about 30 years old, depending on the timber markets at that time.
Now that Sitka spruce there looked really good form, low branching, fairly uniform. What type of planting stock was that?
It was a vegetative VP, what's called the VP stock, which is improved by cuttings to get a better performance, better straightness and better speed of growth. All the Sitka we're planting is VP Sitka now. It's not much more expensive than ordinary Sitka, and it's much more available than it was 20 years ago.
You recently clearfelled an area which was 29 years old. Roughly what sort of income did you get from that area?
It was approximately 400 tonnes a hectare at about £50 a tonne.
And one of the things that there was quite a lot of discussion about was the protection costs, so protection against deer and rabbits and hares. Both the restocking sites and the new planting, all you've done is stock fence those areas.
I've found that satisfactory with growing primarily Sitka spruce, which is very resilient to deer. The difficult species are other conifer species. We have tried, and so far reasonably successful, with Douglas fir and Norway spruce, which do get a bit of browsing damage and fraying damage from deer, and also the leaders being eaten by hares. But so far I'm reasonably confident that we will have a crop in the end of the day.
There was other farmers there from other areas that were commenting that they actually struggle with deer management and would just struggle to establish Norway spruce or Douglas fir without deer fencing.
Certainly in a lot of situations it may be necessary to deer fence, but it does vary depending on the population of deer and the size of the planting block. The smallest blocks are the most vulnerable because they are attractive to deer. They go for the non-Sitka species.
We also looked briefly at the ground preparation method. What technique are you using for ground preparation?
We've used various techniques. On the open hill, which is Heather Hill, and quite rough, we've used conventional forestry plough. It is not favoured by the Forestry Commission now because there can be problems of runoff and crop instability. But on the better ground, we've used a continuous mounder, which is a specialist machine pulled behind a crawler tractor, which throws out small mounds at 2 metre centres. And then on restock sites, we use a digger to do mounding with a digger, which is quite a laborious and slow job, but very helpful in creating a good planting position for the trees.
We started by saying that you planted all your hill land actually back in the 80s and 90s. Looking back, what are your views on whether that was the right decision for you on this estate?
I think it was undoubtedly the right decision. The land was very unproductive land. It wasn't being grazed very hard, so there wasn't much loss of income by planting it. And we now have the prospect of a significant income from timber. So no regrets at all.